Good morning, everybody, and this is your Forex Day trade setups for today. So last week was a really big up, big down. I suspect what we're looking for is a break of this area. So it's actually a zone more than anything else. Let me just get there. And pretty big rainstorm here in Pretoria at the moment, which is really strange for this time of the year. But so what we have here is we've got a pretty strong zone of support here. Now, if I get to the weekly, you'll understand what I'm talking about. There is the area where the buyers have come in. We've tried to reject it in the past. We've been buying in it. So this is all the way back to 2015. And I can probably go back even further, and you can see there's going to be area of support here, area of confusion in the past, area of resistance in the past. So this is a pretty big area for us at the moment, and that being on the weekly. So looking at the 8 hour, you can see we are bouncing around in this zone, and we've been doing it for the last 2 weeks. But the question is, are we looking to break through it to the downside, or are we going to be looking to find some support here? So for me at the moment, it's 50-50. Do see a bit of divergence here on the hour between those two swing lows there. But for that to play out, we're going to need to start breaking above this area here at 108,457. So for me, this is a sit on hands. I think we are sideways. It's a dangerous area to be. We need to start dropping below 107,569 for me to start jumping in short for a continuation to the downside. Does look like that is starting to set up. That's one thing that we need to be clear on. But I need to clear it. This is too much sideways price action for me. US dollar Japanese yen, similar kind of situation here, but the difference here is we are forming some form of structure here, and there is the flat top triangle. So if you get back to the hour, what we're looking for, and there's two levels here to pay attention to, I would argue that we need to get above 128,738 and then come back and retest this zone for a continuation of the upside for this triangle, and that would be a pretty much 1,145 point move to the upside. Or alternatively, come back down to the trend line and offer an opportunity to buy off the trend line. So buying off the trend line would be an interesting one for me, because that would give us there's quite a bit of support here as well. Let's just do this. So there would be a pretty decent area of support here. So what you'd be looking at is to buy in this area with a stop over here. So it's a 440 point stop loss, 600 point gain to the first level, and a 800 odd point gain to the next level. So that's kind of the setup that I've got here. It does look like we are just consolidating, waiting for a squirt up, which would then lead us to believe that Euro USD is in for a big break to the downside. Anyway, British pound Japanese yen, we had this double top. We've broken through the structure. There is the first bit of structure. We've got this massive area of rejection here, which we are currently breaking through. Could find some support here. We've got to wait for the bar to finish. Oscillators grouping to the downside. I'm obviously looking for opportunity to buy. The trend is up, and those are the three areas that I want to pay attention to. So if we get down to the hour, you'll see we have this area which we've broken already, which is 165,467. So that move is gone. This one is also broken after hours session though, so not too worried about that. And then you have this area here at 163,948. Other thing to pay attention to is we have a flag forming. Okay, so find ourselves above 164,641. That would break the flag, find support here. Then I'm looking for a move up to the 155 EMA, which would be the flag target. So that would be the first step. Then what you'd be waiting for is a pullback onto one of the levels, preferably one that gives us a higher low, and then we're looking for a continuation to the upside. So yeah, the 8 hour, the trend is really, really strong to the upside. On the hour, it looks like we've got a trend reversal. So just be cautious. You need to, you should be going with a trend which is up on the 8 hour. So just wait for the structure to get you in to move to the upside, and then we'd be looking for continuation. At the moment, Euro British Pound is just doing its normal confused things. So it keeps coming up above the 155 EMA, and then we get the oscillators group to the upside, and then it kind of rejects off here. So for us to get really moving to the upside, we need to get above 084615. If we can't do that, then we're probably just going to repeat ourselves here and drop to the downside. So at the moment, we had a high, we've got a lower low compared to the last couple of weeks, and now we're coming back up to this area. I would add the Fibonacci to this, and you'll see now why. We're right here in the 61.8 at the moment. So fairly decent area to be looking for an opportunity to sell. Right there, you can see gap up, could be an exhaustion gap, and also a bit of a flag forming. You can see massive move up, and often this happens. You see a big squirt up, and then we go into this channel. Channel can continue for forever, so it can continue all the way up to here. But if we start breaking the channel, that turns into a flag, and then what you're looking for is a return to this area here, which is the bottom of the flag. Oscillators are also agreeing with that structure, so I don't want to be chasing longs here. And just based on the history of this pair the last year or two, you should be looking for an opportunity to sell, but you just want to wait for some decent structure. I'd wait for the gap to close here and then see what happens. But there's more than likely going to be a half decent opportunity to sell into this to start moving to the downside. And as I say, on the 8 hour, we're going to have to sort of clear this area up here at 084615 before I start thinking of a different tune. I just want to close off with a weekly here. And you can see last week was a big engulfing bar, but look at this. We've been in a downward trend all of last year, and we now have diversions forming. Well, sorry, we don't have diversions forming. That is a higher high. So we do just looking for top diversions, but there isn't. Okay, yeah. So I think for me at the moment, clear sit in hand at the moment. Just wait and see what transpires. But I suspect another rejection off this 084615 for a move to the downside, and then pay attention to that trend line that is forming. Let's get down to the hour. Yeah, so this area would be, and we can actually just do a 1 hour trend line. There we go. So that would be another area to buy off, is off this trend line. Or alternatively, if we start finding some support here, maybe an opportunity, so 083663, maybe an opportunity to buy for a move to the upside. But at the moment, I think more than likely a pullback, bigger trend is down, so you're looking for a move back down. Anyway, hope it helps you somewhat, and we will catch up with you tomorrow. Cheers for now.